Discover the journey of Steve Skipper, an internationally acclaimed artist whose hyper-realistic works capture the intersection of sports, civil rights, and culture. This is Reflections of an Artist, the Art of Steve Skipper.
So many different things that he's known for. I mean, when you mention his name, you think about the civil rights movement. He's Dr. King's right hand. One of the most intelligent people you're ever gonna meet. And then you get to actually be in a room with him, talking to him, and then to get to know him, and then at the same time to have God touch his heart, and where he takes you under his wing to mentor. And the stuff that he knows, it's just like, he's just like a human gold mine. He's seen so much, he experienced so much, and he was actually there when Dr. King was killed. Not only when he was killed, but he was actually there when Dr. King won the Nobel Prize. He was actually there to hear that I Have a Dream speech. He was actually there when Dr. King wrote his books and stuff like that. He was actually there the night at midnight, the speech, the night at midnight, the knock at midnight, when Dr. King experienced a depression where he was tempted to abort the movement. And God came in and stirred him to a point to where he'd never been stirred before. Andrew Young was in all this stuff. And so, but I think that becoming the Renaissance man is him realizing with Dr. King dying in his arms and thinking life was over, having so many different feelings go inside of him, but then realizing that God wasn't finished with him yet. And I remember being in his office talking to him one day, and we had been going to these different events together, and I got used to being with him, you know, and we walk in a room and the atmosphere would do like this, and I love that feeling, you know, and then, you know, you go somewhere and you'd be with him and people looking at you wondering who are you, you know, and, you know, and you know, any kind of door, any kind of whatever. And I remember being in his office one day, and we had this event coming up, and I said, I'm looking forward to going to this event with you, and you've been. He said, this time I won't be with you. And I was devastated. I said, what is? He said, you're not gonna need me. I said, how am I not gonna need you? I really do, because I'm used to, you know, being with him. He said, you're not gonna need me to be with you because you've got my name. He said, people know about me and you. And all you gotta do, wherever you go, you have my name. And my name will take you where I don't have to be with you anymore. Like that. And so I'm sitting there devastated, you know. And he tells me, his assistant, I tell him, you know, he's not going with me anymore. I mean, what does that mean? What is he? And he said, he had to go through that same thing that he's telling you about. Because he came to a place where he was so used to being with Dr. King. And then all of a sudden, Dr. King was abruptly taken away from him without warning. And he had to learn that he couldn't go with Dr. King, but he had his name. He said for all these different years, because of Dr. King's name, he's been able to accomplish all this other stuff. He's ambassador of the United States of America, appointed by Jimmy Carter and sworn in by Thurgood Marshall. All over the world, people love him. And he's gone to all these different countries without Dr. King. He's got his name. He said, God's got some stuff for you. He got his name. And so we stayed in touch with each other. I remember the first time that he told his secretary to give me his cell number. I was so scared. It took me 2 months to use it. and then he told me he didn't want me to meet him at the office anymore. He wanted me to come to his home. Never been so nervous driving to Georgia in my life. Pull up in the driveway, sat in the driveway for 30 minutes. He calls me on the phone and asks me, "Are you coming in?" I say, "You're in the driveway." And he's it. And then at the same time, he likes Nick Saban. Nick Saban is crazy about him. He asked me to deliver one of his books to Nick Saban. He personalized it to Coach Saban. He wants me to deliver it to Coach Saban. I'm nervous about him. I'm nervous about him. I'm sitting in the middle, can't sleep at night, sitting in the bed straight up like this right here, wondering how am I gonna handle this. Park the car in front of Coach Saban's office. Get out of the car, walk across the parking lot like I'm 900 years old. Go in there, sit down with Coach Saban. This is the last year, I didn't know at the time, Coach Saban's last season. And give him the book. And I feel something different about Coach Saban this time. I can't put my hand on it. And I'm trying to encourage him and everything, and it's gonna be great and all that. And give him the book and stuff like that, and I'm really nervous about representing him in front of him. Get back to the car and I just slide down in the seat and just exhausted, But call him back and tell him how it went. And then the stuff that he had to do after Dr. King and without Dr. King physically was phenomenal. The Olympics coming to Atlanta, it changed Atlanta. It changed Georgia. It changed the Southeast. The attention that was brought to the Southeast and brought to Georgia by the Olympics. Most people don't know there was a period of time where Coke, the Atlanta airport, Delta Airlines, and a whole lot of other different companies were going through real hard struggle. And their leaders called Ambassador Young, and he gave them ideas that brought them out. And because they're so successful right now, it's because of ideas from him.
Thanks for watching. Visit the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, Georgia, where sports, culture, and history collide for an unforgettable experience.